just got here and we just bought super cool hats. Hey guys, welcome back to another Minecraft video. Just kidding, but if you're trying to laugh, then you can go ahead and click on any of my other videos. But you know, if you're trying to learn about my hopes and dreams, then you know, you can pull up a seat right here and let's start the video. Okay, so the title is self-explanatory. In this video, I'm going to be going over why I took a gap year, what I did for my gap year, and what I learned from my gap year. And I'll put timestamps for those questions on the left side description box. If you remember when YouTube had a description on like the left or right side,
you're qualified for a veterans discount.
Like you have to be. Okay, so let's get the video started. Why did I take a gap year? I feel like I need to share a backstory. So my senior year of high school, I was already like very not caring. See, wow, that just shows me I should have went to high school. Holy cow, I don't know English. My senior year, I just was over it. I mean, I was over it since freshman year, but you know, senior year, I was definitely over it. And I really didn't care about grades or anything. I just hated the busy work of high school. Like, high school was never hard for me. It was just so much useless work, and I really resented that. So I would rebel.
Like a true teenager.
On top of that, I got dumped halfway through senior year. And, you know, heartbreak is a lot for a 17-year-old to take on. So I just like wouldn't show up to school. Like I just like stopped going, kind of. Not kind of, I just really stopped going. I would like ditch all the time.
I was like known by my classmates for ditching.
On that note, I also won for like senior superlatives? How do you say it? Superlaxatives. I got it.
Superlative.
Superlative? I've literally, okay, well, superlative? Okay, I obviously didn't go to high school, and there's your proof. Anyways, for my senior superlative, I won most spirited and most adventurous. So that tells you a little bit about me. I was very outgoing and I was an extrovert. Okay, so blah blah blah, I got dumped, boohoo. I ditched school and then I graduated. Barely. I had a 1.8 my last semester of high school. Okay, so fast forward, summer's halfway over and I'm hanging out with some friends and they asked me if I registered for college yet. And of course the answer is no. Part of it was because I was lazy and I was a procrastinator. I was literally just gonna wait for like the day before school to sign up. And then my friend said,
why don't you just take a gap year?
At that point, I've already thought about it, but not going to college was like never really an option to me. I think all of us are raised to believe that like after high school it's college and that's the way it is, but there were other options. There are other options. So when she said it, it just like made me think twice about it, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, that's something cool and adventurous. What could possibly go wrong? So I just decided that night,
I'm gonna take a gap year.
Just like that. I basically had to like come out to my parents about it, and obviously my parents were not that happy with me. Yeah, I mean, I already made up my mind at this point. I was gonna take it no matter what they said. Anyways, I came to that conclusion, and as you can tell, it was based on a lot of factors. It was like partially from my lack of preparedness for college, like just like signing up, like just me being lazy. I just needed like a mental break, and like I just went through a heartbreak, so I was like out here wilding, listening to Drake, you know, and it happened. I took a gap year. What did I do for my gap year? decided on taking a gap year so last minute, I had to come up with a plan. So I was already working a job. I ran into an old friend who got me another job. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna work full-time at both of these jobs because I'm not in school, I'm not doing anything. And then I'll probably go somewhere later in my gap year. So I decided that I was gonna go to Vietnam. My name is Angelinetutran. I'm 18 years old and I'm currently traveling Southeast Asia. That's where I was born, that's where some of my family lives, and that's actually where my dad lives because my parents are separated. So I was like, why not just spend some time with my dad for my gap year? Like, this way they can't be mad at me, kind of. About to try spider, scorpion, and beer with my dad. All things I've never had before. So the first half of my gap year, I spent it working all the time. Working so much. I absolutely hated it. It was terrible. I gained a lot of weight, but I knew it was gonna be worth it because I was gonna get to go to Vietnam for 5 months. So on to the second part of my gap year. I flew to Vietnam all by myself. And you're probably wondering, what did you do in Vietnam for 5 months? Well, it's my 12th day out of the country. Most of it I spent in a room alone, just, you know, watching YouTube videos, playing Candy Crush, just passing the time. To be honest, I didn't really do much. I mean, there were eventful days, but most of the time it was just me sitting around doing nothing, having no structure or schedule or responsibilities. I don't know how else to word it. I literally did nothing. I was just chilling. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. I mean, I don't think there are very many people who do take gap years, so there's a lot of like questions if it's right for you or not. To answer that, everyone's experience is going to be very different. Obviously, we're not all going to do the same thing on our gap year. It's supposed to be this great experience, and I'm not saying mine wasn't, but before my gap year, I lived like a very stimulating life, and then just pushing myself away from all of that, being out of my comfort zone, doing something like that I wasn't prepared for and that I didn't plan out very well. It was different. It's okay. It doesn't have to be some grand adventure that, you know, changes your life or anything. It can be whatever you want to be. You can take a gap year and just work the entire year because you're in a situation where you need to be working full time or whatever it may be, you know, like, I'm sure it's different for everybody, and it's not like some magical movie thing where like you go to Paris and you meet the love of your life, even though that would have been super cool. And I just hung out with my dad, which is also cool. But if you are watching this video, you probably are considering a gap year, or maybe you're just wondering about it, and I'm here to tell you that you can always go to school. So if you feel like you need this break for yourself for whatever reason, it's 1 year, and it'll teach you a lot about how long 1 year really is. It'll show you like time from a different perspective, and that's what I want to get into. So last but not least, what did I learn from my gap year? I definitely learned a few things. I saw things from another perspective. I got cultured. And you don't even need a gap year to really learn all of those things. You could have learned all of that in like a month vacation to another country, but like I said before, it doesn't have to be something life altering, and it doesn't need to change your life to be justified. You don't need all those justifications. You can just take a year off from school. Whoa, what? Just slow life down for a little bit, figure out things you want. And personally for me, I didn't have like any grand epiphanies. I didn't like figure out what I wanted to major in. I didn't figure out what I wanted to major in until I went to college. And like I said before, it didn't really change my life. It just It was just something special that I had to myself. And at the end of the day, that's what we really want to strive for. We want to do things that make us happy. A gap year was just something right for me because now I just finished my first year of college. I got a 4.0 both semesters. Thank you. And it was definitely an adventure in its own way. And I'm definitely grateful that I took it. I'm grateful I had the opportunity to take it. And although in the moment of my gap year, I didn't really learn that much, I feel like now everything I do in life, I can look back and just apply it to it or take from it and put it where it needs to be. Basically what I want to say is the little things, the little moments, those are the big things. Does that make sense? I don't know. I skipped school for a year, so. If you are thinking about gap year for whatever reason, I would say don't be afraid. It's 1 year of your life. You have a long way to go, my friends. So live your life, you know. Life is different for everybody and it's not a race. I definitely came back to California feeling like I was kind of behind a little bit, behind all my friends. I felt like I kind of missed out. But we all have our own experiences and the cool thing is we get to choose them. So I'm very grateful for my choice. There's a lot out there. There's a lot of different paths you can take. So don't be afraid to look into other ones and, you know, stray from the main road sometimes if you wish, because you never know what's out there waiting for you. I definitely get that it's not for everybody. So if you have any more questions about it, feel free to leave a comment. I will answer them to the best of my 1.8 GPA in high school ability. Oh, I wore the wrong shirt. You know what shirt I should have worn? I'm so mad I didn't think of this before. I should have worn this shirt the whole time to talk about my gap year. Are you kidding me? Anyways, this gap is coming to a close. So thanks for watching. And if you do decide to take a gap year, good luck, Charlie.